NHL regular season recap, night 117, 4 games on the slate tonight. The first one is an East versus West matchup between the New Jersey Devils and Seattle Kraken, and it's a pretty low-scoring affair tonight thanks to two goalies having pretty good performances, but the Devils come out on top. In the first period, Tyler Toffoli nets his 22nd of the year on the power play. In the second period, it's Jack Hughes and Dawson Mercer with their 16th and 15th respectively in the first 5 minutes, so it's 3-0 Devils pretty early on here. No more goals in the second. We get to the third where Will Borgen scores one to ruin the shutout bid, just his second of the year, but that's all we have for scoring. Nico Daws pretty solid in this one, 27 of 28 for the win. Joey Decord, meanwhile, did enough to keep his team in the game, 34 of 37 for a .919 save percentage, but just not quite enough goal support from the Kraken. This is a much-needed win for the Devils. They moved to fourth in the Metro after being just couple days ago in sixth, so big win for them. The Kraken still at sixth in the Pacific at 21-10, but a much needed win for New Jersey. The Rangers hosting the Flames, and talk about a goalie duo, man. This was it for tonight. Shesterkin and Jacob Markstrom going back and forth. Some fantastic saves either way. Frankly, I thought Markstrom deserved to win this game. I thought he was the better of the two goalies, but just no goal support from his team either. The only goal that went in on a goalie was Will Cooley's in the second at about 12:31 of the period. Jimmy Vesey would score an empty netter with 19 seconds to go. No slap shots, no cross checks on this one, but that was going to be it. So it's a 2-0 final for the Rangers. Markstrom goes 29 for 30, a .967 save percentage, and Shesterkin goes a perfect 30 for 30 in the shutout winning effort. So another, again, just a really good goalie game. Both of these guys, one of, if not their better games of the season. It might be Shesterkin's best, and Jacob Markstrom, of course, as we all know, has been playing very well as of late, so not surprising to see this effort from him, but a bit disappointing if you're a Flames fan. You'd like to take this effort from your goalie and turn it into a W, but just not quite the case tonight. 2-0 the final for the Rangers. The Flyers taking on the Coyotes, and this one was another surprisingly entertaining game. Matt Dumba opens the scoring with the only goal in the first, and then in the second, they trade goals back and forth. Morgan Frost, Matthias Michelli, Travis Konechny, and Alex Kerfoot all scoring, so it's 3-2 Yotes after 2. But in the third period, the Flyers kind of take over. Jamie Drysdale with his third of the year ties it 6:20 in. Scott Laughton scores a few minutes later to make it 4-3 Philadelphia. And then Owen Tippett takes the empty netter home. It's a 5-3 final for Philly. Neither goalie was great in this one. Sam Harrison getting the win. Just 20 of 27 and .870 save percentage for him, while Karel Vejmelka goes 29 for 33 and an .879 save percentage. The slightly better goalie statistically, but of course not good enough for the victory. The Flyers are staying alive in this playoff race despite losing their, full starting goalie. Sam Harrison has not been fantastic, but has been good enough to continue to win them games. So we'll see if this is something he's capable of long term. They're of course going to be in an absolute dogfight the rest of the year because there are a million teams in the East looking to get into the playoffs. But for now, it's a 5-3 win for Philly. Fourth and final game tonight is the Golden Knights taking on the Minnesota Wild, and the Wild are on a bit of a little hot streak here. They win this one, making it 3 for their last 3 and 6 of their last 8 being victories. Lots of scoring in both the first and third period. Jonathan Marchessault opens the scoring in this one just 22 seconds in, but then Matt Zuccarello and Joel Eriksson-Ek both score to make it 2-1 mini, but before the period ends, Michael Amadio scores on the power play to tie us up at 2. Again, no goals in the second, but in the third, it's Marco Rossi and Matt Boldy both scoring in the first 7.5 minutes to put the Wild back up 4-2. Mark Stone would get one a few minutes later to make it 4-3 and make things interesting for the last half of the period, but Philip Gustafsson slams the door. Joel Eriksson-Ek gets his second of the game on the empty net, and it's a 5-3 final for Minnesota. They're still in 6th in the Central, which has become probably the most highly contested division in the league, but this is a big win for them. They need to continue this momentum. They dug themselves a pretty large hole at the beginning of the year, but I think if they keep this up, they have a decent shot at making it in. They're already not too many points back, but of course, still some ground to cover. Wins like these ones are huge. They moved to 6th, 24, 23, and 5, while Vegas remains in second at 31, 16, and 6. That's going to be it for NHL regular season recap, night 117. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow where we have like 13 more games. So that's going to be a busy night. Talk to you then.